What I want to talk about is two things really. How you separate these things out. In Edgecam we've got layers, and in Part Modeler we just add filters like this. So if you look at these, I'm adding filters along here like that. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 3. Well, I've got loads now, but it doesn't matter. So those filters, I'm going to give them names, and I'm going to say to this one, I'm going to rename that. I'm going to call it the part. This one here, I'm going to rename that. Call it clamps. And this one here, rename that, and I'll call it base. I've got others which I could use. In fact, I reckon I'm going to delete them. You just right click, you can delete these, you can add more, you can have as many as you want. So coming up to this machine tree here, you'll see that we've got one big assembly, which is everything, and then we've got the base plate, which is just a component on its own. If you click that, you'll see that red tick up there to say that that's what we've selected. You'll see the part. If I click the part, it comes up there, and I've got clamp 1, clamp 2 and clamp 3, and these are all in their own assemblies. They're in that assembly. So if you right click there, you can see something that says where are we? Let's have a look. Insert assembly. Insert assembly, that's added me a new assembly. Now I could drag parts into that assembly, and then that assembly is a completely separate standalone thing. I'm just going to delete that now because I don't want it. And that's all I've done here. So I could take that component there and drag it into there. Now I haven't actually named these, but if I click that clamp 1, you notice how the whole of that's gone blue, because I'm now selecting the whole of that clamp. Now this has got brilliant uses if I need to shift that clamp. Just have a swig of my tea. If I want to shift that clamp, I could, instead of me having to pick each component out and move it and probably get it wrong, I can click that, and if I go to this, see this part positioning, it's going to move. Watch what happens if I shift it now. It's moving the whole clamp. It's not just moving one thing. Okay, you can move the whole clamp. So that is one of the great things about that, having that as an assembly, because it's a completely standalone thing. Ideally you want to name these, because I mean really you should give this a proper name. So I know that's clamp, so you just click that. You know, I'm not going to do all this right now, but you do that. Call them each by the separate things. So let's just take that back now and come down to what we're talking about here, which is our different filters. So on a filter you can right click and you can say select items. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say uncheck all, and this one here is the part. So the only thing that I want on here is the part. So that filter now is just the part. Now let's do the same on here. Select items. I'm going to uncheck all, and I'm going to have clamp 4, clamp 3, clamp 2. I'm clicking the assembly, not each individual part, because that gives me the whole assembly. So that's now got the 4 clamps. And then this one, let's right click that, select items, uncheck everything, and click the base. Okay, so now when we work these filters, we can have the base on, we can have the clamps on, we can have the part on. If you turn everything off, then they're all showing. It's a bit weird, but that's how it works, I'm afraid. Now what I'm going to do here is effectively, if I turn those off, I could then work just on the base. So I could start, you know, I could create a construction plane and start working on that face. So that's how you use assemblies, and also how you use these filters to get your different parts showing. And obviously it's very, very useful if you need to get to anything or see what's going on underneath. Okay, thank you.